Welcome to the deep dive. In our hyper-connected world, it feels like every single day there's another headline, right? Another major data breach, another cyber attack.
It really does feel relentless sometimes.
Exactly. And these aren't just isolated things anymore. They feel like this pervasive threat that's kind of eroding the trust we have in, well, everything digital, whether you're just, an individual online or a small business or even a government agency.
That trust element is absolutely fundamental.
So for this deep dive, our mission is pretty clear. We want to navigate this really complex landscape of cybersecurity breaches. We'll try to unpack where they come from, understand their impact, which is often deeper than you think, and then pivot to, okay, what can we actually do? The defense strategies.
Right. Proactive steps.
And we'll focus specifically on cyber insurance, its role in all this. Think of it as a shortcut, maybe, to understanding what it really takes to fight back against these digital risks.
Yeah, a crucial piece of the puzzle.
And this isn't going to be some dense technical manual. It's about empowering you, the listener, with a solid understanding of the causes, the fallout, and, how you can protect yourself.
Making it accessible but comprehensive.
Okay, so let's kick things off right there. How widespread is this threat, really? Because sometimes the numbers, they just seem abstract until it hits close to home.
It's a great place to start. Because, the core idea we're exploring today is that if you want to effectively combat these risks, you need a really comprehensive understanding, not just surface level.
Okay.
You need to know the causes, the repercussions, which can be vast, and, crucially, the preventive measures available.
So moving beyond just reacting when something bad happens.
Exactly. Towards building genuine resilience. It's about seeing the whole picture, the entire ecosystem of risk.
Right, the whole ecosystem. And to get that picture, we have to start at the beginning. How do these breaches actually happen? Because like you hinted, it's maybe not always the super sophisticated movie-style hack, right?
You're absolutely right. Often it's, less glamorous, but way more common.
So what are those common entry points, the everyday vulnerabilities?
Okay, so our sources point to about 5 primary ways these breaches tend to happen. First up, software and hardware vulnerabilities.
Right, the bugs.
Exactly. And we're not always talking minor glitches. These can be critical flaws, sometimes things called 0-days vulnerabilities the vendor doesn't even know about yet. If they're not patched quickly, they're like leaving the front door wide open.
Which is why updates are so critical.
Non-negotiable, really. Diligent patching and vulnerability management are key.
Okay, what's next?
Then you have phishing attacks. And these have gotten so much smarter than those old, obvious scam emails.
Oh, yeah, the Nigerian prince days are long gone.
Long gone. Now you see highly targeted spear phishing aimed at specific people, or even whaling, going after the big fish, the executives.
Wow.
It's less about just tricking someone randomly and more about social engineering. Building fake trust, playing on urgency, or making it look like it came from the boss.
Very sneaky. What else?
A big one, often overlooked, is insider threats.
So disgruntled employees?
Sometimes, yes. But honestly, more often than not, it's accidental. Someone clicks a bad link, misplaces a file,
right?
Maybe uses a weak password on a sensitive system. Just carelessness.
Human error.
Exactly.
Oh.
And that makes it really tricky because, your traditional firewalls, they don't stop someone who already has legitimate access from making a mistake.
Good point. Number 4.
Number 4 is almost embarrassingly simple, but still so effective. Weak passwords.
Still, after all this time.
Still. It seems counterintuitive, doesn't it? With all the fancy defenses out there, something as basic as a weak, reused, or easily guessable password is still one of the top ways attackers get in.
Wow. Just goes to show.
It really does. The easiest way in isn't always the most technical.
Okay, and the last one.
And finally, it's a broader category, but it underlies so many incidents. Just a general lack of security awareness.
So people just not knowing better.
Pretty much. Not recognizing a suspicious link, maybe not following security rules, or just not understanding the risks of certain online actions. If people aren't trained or regularly updated on the latest threats, even the best tech defenses can be bypassed.
It's like the human firewall needs constant patching, too.
That's a perfect way to put it. The human element often needs the most attention.
That really drives home how cybersecurity isn't just tech. It's people, processes, awareness, the whole package.
Absolutely.
Okay, so when one of these things happens, when a breach does occur, and let's be honest, it probably will for many organizations at some point, what does that actually mean? Beyond just data loss, what are the real tangible consequences?
Yeah, the consequences. They're rarely just one thing. It's usually a ripple effect, often devastating. Our sources point to 5 major types of impact. First, obviously, financial loss.
Right, the direct costs.
Yes, but it goes way beyond just paying for investigators or fixing systems. Think legal fees, huge regulatory fines, lawsuits from people whose data was stolen. And if you're a public company, your stock price can tank. It adds up incredibly fast.
A multiplier effect, like you said.
Exactly. Then there's the huge hit of reputation damage.
Ah, the trust factor again.
Absolutely critical.
Okay.
A breach just shatters trust with customers, partners, the public. Rebuilding that, it can take years. Sometimes, honestly, it's irreparable. Businesses have closed over this.
Wow. Okay, number 3.
Third, regulatory penalties. Especially now, with stricter laws like GDPR in Europe, CCPA in California, and others popping up globally.
Right. Those fines can be massive.
Astronomical. Sometimes based on a percentage of your global revenue. Non-compliance after a breach can be crippling financially just from the fines alone.
Okay, what else?
For many businesses, intellectual property theft is a nightmare scenario.
So, losing secrets.
Trade secrets, designs, client lists, proprietary code, whatever gives you that competitive edge. If that gets stolen, you could lose your market position overnight. It undermines everything.
That sounds potentially fatal for a company.
It can be. And finally, number 5 is service disruption. Attacks can just shut down your operations completely.
Like ransomware freezing everything?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or denial of service attacks flooding your systems.
Yeah.
This means downtime, lost productivity. You can't serve your customers. We've seen this hit hospitals, critical infrastructure. The impact can be enormous and prolonged.
So it's not just one thing. They all kind of pile on top of each other.
They absolutely intertwine. It makes recovery incredibly difficult and complex.
That is. Yeah, that's a sobering list. It paints a much starker picture than just thinking about stolen email addresses.
It really does. The consequences run deep.
So, given these huge risks, these cascading consequences, what can organizations, maybe even individuals, do proactively? This seems like the perfect point to bring in cyber insurance. How does that fit into the strategy?
You're right. This is where it becomes a critical part of the conversation.
Yeah.
Securing the right cyber insurance coverage is, well, pivotal for organizations trying to build resilience.
It's not a magic shield, though, right? It doesn't
Yeah.
stop the attack.
No, absolutely not. Think of it more as a crucial safety net. It's designed to help manage and mitigate those severe financial consequences we just talked about when an attack does succeed.
Okay, so it helps absorb the financial shock.
Precisely. And there are typically about 6 main types of coverage you'll see in these policies. It's good to understand the distinctions.
All right, let's break those down. What's the first type?
First is data breach response coverage. This is fundamental. It covers those immediate, often very high costs right after a breach is discovered.
What specifically?
Things like hiring forensic experts to figure out what happened, getting legal advice, the cost of notifying everyone affected, providing credit monitoring, all that immediate response stuff.
Okay, that makes sense. What's second?
Second, and increasingly vital, is cyber extortion or ransomware coverage.
Ah, the big one everyone hears about.
Exactly. This helps cover costs related to ransomware attacks. That could include potentially the ransom payment itself, though that's a complex decision, but also paying for experts to negotiate or help recover data.
Got it. Third.
Third is business interruption. This is huge. If a cyber attack knocks your business offline and you can't operate, you're losing money every minute.
Right.
This coverage helps replace that lost income and covers extra expenses needed to get back up and running quickly. It minimizes the financial bleeding during downtime.
Okay, that seems crucial. What's number 4?
Then you have cyber liability.
Ah.
This covers you if you get sued because of the breach.
So, lawsuits from customers whose data was exposed.
Exactly, or partners. If they claim you were negligent in protecting their data, this helps cover legal defense costs and any damages awarded. Think class action lawsuits.
Right, those can be massive.
Yeah.
Fifth type.
Fifth is network security liability. This is slightly different. It protects you if a security failure on your network causes harm to others.
How does that work?
Like if your compromised system is used to launch an attack on your clients, or if a denial of service attack originating from you impacts others. This covers claims arising from that kind of third-party harm.
Okay, I see the distinction. And the last one.
And finally, media liability. This might seem a bit separate, but it often ties in. It covers claims related to content on your website or digital platforms, things like copyright infringement, defamation.
Especially if your site gets hacked and malicious content is posted?
Precisely. Or if content is misused during a breach. So these 6 types together offer a layered defense against the different kinds of financial fallout from a cyber incident.
That's a really helpful breakdown. It shows how broad the financial risks really are. But, okay, this raises a really practical question then. If you're a business owner or maybe even an individual looking into this, how do you even start choosing the right policy? There seem to be a lot of components.
That's a critical question because choosing the wrong policy or one that doesn't fit your actual risks can be almost as bad as having no insurance at all when you need it.
Right, a false sense of security.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So there are 4 crucial factors to really dig into. First, coverage limits.
How much the policy will pay out?
Yes. And it's absolutely essential to align those limits with your specific risk exposure. What's the worst case scenario look like for you financially? And what can you realistically afford in premiums? You don't want to be drastically underinsured when a major incident hits.
Okay, makes sense. Factor number 2.
Second, and this is vital, you have to scrutinize the policy exclusions.
The fine print.
The fine print. These are the clauses saying what the policy won't cover. Maybe certain types of attacks aren't included, or acts of war, or maybe costs incurred before notifying the insurer. Knowing these exclusions up front avoids horrible surprises later.
Yeah, you don't want to find that out during a crisis.
Definitely not. Third, look into policy endorsements.
What are those? Add-ons?
Basically, yes. There are additions or amendments you can add to a standard policy to tailor it better to your specific needs. Maybe you handle sensitive health information or operate internationally. Endorsements can plug gaps a standard policy might have for your situation.
Customizing it.
Right. And fourth, really understand the claims process.
How you actually use the insurance.
Exactly. How quickly do you need to report an incident? What documentation will they require? Who do you call? What's the procedure? If you don't know how to navigate the claims process effectively, even the best policy won't help you when disaster strikes.
So, know the rules of engagement beforehand.
Absolutely. Preparation is key.
That's really practical advice. It's not just ticking a box for cyber insurance. It's about getting the right coverage and knowing exactly how it works. Which leads to another really interesting point. It's not just about having the policy, right? It's also about what you do after a breach to make sure the policy actually pays out and helps you effectively. I imagine companies sometimes stumble right here.
Oh, absolutely. Navigating the post-breach chaos while also dealing with insurance requirements is tough. Effectively leveraging that coverage is just as vital as having bought it.
So what are the key steps there?
Our sources highlight 4 essential steps for organizations in that situation. First, assess the damages thoroughly.
Figure out how bad it is financially.
Precisely. You need to evaluate all the financial impacts, the direct costs investigations, repairs, legal fees, but also the indirect costs, like lost business revenue, reputation repair campaigns. Get a clear, comprehensive picture for your claim.
Okay, paint the full picture. Step 2.
Second, review all existing policies. Before you jump straight to the cyber policy, just double-check. Do any of your other existing policies, like general liability or maybe even property insurance, offer any potential coverage?
Really? There could be overlap?
Sometimes, yes. There might be some surprising supplementary coverage or specific clauses you weren't aware of. It's worth a quick look.
Good tip. Third,
and this is crucial, consult experts.
don't try to handle the insurance claim alone.
Please don't. Get guidance immediately from insurance specialists, brokers, or legal counsel who really understand cyber insurance intricacies. They can help you understand your options, navigate the complex claims process, even negotiate terms. Their expertise is invaluable here.
Makes sense. Leverage the pros and the final step.
And fourth, document everything meticulously.
Keep receipts.
Keep receipts, keep logs, keep emails, keep records of every single thing related to the breach and your response. From the moment you discovered it, through the investigation, the remediation, every meeting, every decision, every single expense.
Why is that so critical?
Because thorough, organized documentation is often the absolute make-or-break factor for getting your insurance claim approved and paid out fully and quickly. It substantiates your losses.
Got it. Document, document, document.
You can't overstate its importance.
Wow. Okay, this deep dive has really taken us on quite a journey. From understanding, the sheer number of threats out there and how they get in.
Yeah, the entry points.
To the really profound, sometimes hidden consequences when a breach happens.
Ripple effects.
And then mapping out the strategic role cyber insurance can play as a key defense mechanism in today's world.
A critical safety net.
It seems so clear now that understanding all these pieces, the risks, the impacts, the defenses, it isn't just like a good idea. It feels essential for anyone trying to navigate the digital world safely.
It really is fundamental to effective risk management now.
So, maybe the final thought to leave everyone with is this. As our digital lives and our real lives become even more tangled up,
Which they are, constantly.
how does having this deeper understanding of the cyber risks, of the proactive defenses like insurance, how does that shift our responsibility, both personally and for organizations? How does it change how we need to act to help build a more secure digital future for everyone?
It's a powerful question to ponder. What's our role in collective security?
Something to think about as you log on tomorrow. Thanks for joining us for the deep dive.